The University of Cape Town is a public research university located in Cape Town in the Western Cape Province of South Africa. UCT was founded in 1829 as the South African College, and is the oldest university in South Africa and the second oldest extant university in Africa. UCT is the highest-ranked African university in the U.S. World University Rankings, the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, and the Academic Ranking of World Universities, and its Law and Commerce Faculties are consistently placed among the 100 best internationally. The language of instruction is English. History. The roots of UCT lie in the establishment of the South African College in 1829 as a school for boys. In 1874 the South African College schools, teaching up to secondary level, were separated from the college, which prepared students for the examinations of the University of the Cape of Good Hope. In 1887 the first male residence in Southern Africa was established, known as College House Residence, under the initiative of Professor C. E. Lewis. In 1918 the South African College was elevated to full university status with the power to award degrees, and renamed the University of Cape Town. UCT moved to the Groote Schuur Estate campus in 1928. During the apartheid era, roughly 1960 to 1990, many UCT students consistently opposed apartheid, and the university was a bastion of liberalism. However, the demographics of the university did not begin to change meaningfully until the 1980s and especially the 1990s. 1987 saw frequent clashes between protesting students and police, with reporting of police presence on the campus being censored by the government. On the 24th of April 1987 the police entered the campus, and this marked the first time since 1972 that South Africa's police services had suppressed a demonstration at a white university. The UCT crest was designed in 1859 by Charles Davidson Bell, Surveyor General of the Cape Colony at the time. Bell was an accomplished artist who also designed medals and the triangular Cape stamp. Campus. The main teaching campus, known as Upper Campus, is located on the Rhodes Estate on the slopes of Devil's Peak. This campus contains, in a relatively compact site, the faculties of Science, Engineering, Commerce, and Humanities, as well as Smuts Hall and Fuller Hall residences. Upper Campus is centered on Jameson Hall, the location for graduation and other ceremonial events, as well as many examinations. The original buildings and layout of Upper Campus were designed by J. M. Solomon and built between 1928 and 1930. Since that time, many more buildings have been added as the university has grown. Upper Campus is also home to the main library, the Chancellor Oppenheimer Library, which holds the majority of the university's 1.3 million volume collection. Contiguous with Upper Campus but separated from it by university sports fields and the M3 Expressway, are the middle and lower campuses. These campuses, which are spread through the suburbs of Rondebosch, Rosebank and Mowbray, contain the law faculty, the South African College of Music, the School of Economics, most of the student residences, most of the university administrative offices, and various sporting facilities. The state-of-the-art artificial grass soccer field has been approved by FIFA for training for World Cup teams. The upper, middle, and lower campuses together are often referred to as the main campus. The Faculty of Health Sciences is located on the medical school campus next to the Groote Schuur Hospital in Observatory. The Fine Arts and Drama departments are located on the Hidding campus in central Cape Town. The university's original building, now known as the Egyptian Building, on the Hidding campus was built in the Egyptian Revival style. The only other campus built in this style was the Medical College of Virginia in Richmond, Virginia in the United States. The UCT Graduate School of Business is located on the Breakwater Lodge campus at the Victoria and Alfred waterfront. For his contribution of the tract of land which the campus was founded on, a bronze statue of Cecil Rhodes was erected in 1934 on the upper campus, overlooking the university's rugby fields. The statue was removed in April 2015 following pressure from student groups due to its perceived representation of South Africa's racist past and the university's inadequate representation of blacks. The campaign was originally triggered when activist Hugh Marnie Maxwell smeared excrement on the statue, triggering acts vandalism on the statue and other similar statues of historical white figures in the form of paint attacks and graffiti. While the statue has been removed for safekeeping, some calls have also been made by students to destroy the statue. Residential Hall Smuts Hall is located on the upper campus and provides housing for around 240 students. On the 10th of November 1950, the name Smuts Hall was formally adopted, named after Field Marshal the RT. Hon. Jan Smuts. The hall was constructed as part of the first phase of the University of Cape Town's Groote campus. The other buildings included Jameson Hall, the Arts Block, the Mathematics Building and the Women's Residence Fuller Hall. The group of buildings have been declared national monuments. The residents of Smuts Hall have come to be known as the Smutsmen organization. The University of Cape Town was originally incorporated as a public university by a private Act of Parliament in 1918. At present it is incorporated, and structured by an institutional statute issued under the provisions of the Higher Education Act, 1997. The titular head of the university is the Chancellor. This is a ceremonial position without executive power. The primary role of the Chancellor is to confer degrees on behalf of the university, and to represent the university to the rest of the world. The current Chancellor is Ms. Graca Machel, elected for her first 10-year term in September 1999 and re-elected in May 2010. The executive head of the university is the Vice-Chancellor. The VC has the overall responsibility for the policy and administration of the university. The current VC is Dr. Max Price, who replaced Professor Nyabulo Ndebele on 1 July 2008. The VC is assisted in his task by a number of deputy vice-chancellors who handle specific portfolios. The registrar is responsible for the academic administration of the university, as well as legal matters, and is secretary to the University Council and Senate. The academic departments of UCT are divided into 6 faculties: Commerce, Engineering and the Built Environment, Health Sciences, Humanities, Law, and Science. Each faculty is led by a dean. The multidisciplinary Center for Higher Education Development rates on a level equal to the faculties. Although the Graduate School of Business is considered to be part of the Faculty of Commerce, it is run independently and has its own dean and director. Students and staff. As of 2013, 26,116 students were enrolled. The ratio between male and female students is almost exactly 50-50. The student body makeup comprises 32.29% are white students, 43.98% non-white students, and the remaining 23.73% identify as international and other. International students account for 18.02% of total student enrollment at 4,708, representing over 100 countries. Student enrollment by population group 2009 to 2013, showing percentage growth on base. UCT employs over 5,000 staff members, of whom 44% are academic staff. The rest are administrative and support staff. In 2007, UCT had 866 permanent academic staff members. Between 85% and 90% of academic staff hold doctoral or master's qualifications. The UCT Employment Equity Plan April indicates moderate but consistent changes in the demographic makeup of the staff body. The 5-year plan specifies specific targets ranging from between about 5% to 10% adjustments in the representation of SA black staff. According to the plan, the staff makeup would have changed by 2015 by achieving either parity or more SA black staff than SA white in all categories, other than senior lecturer and professor positions. Student life. UCT has 36 different sports clubs, including team sports, individual sports, extreme sports and martial arts. The university's sports teams, and in particular the rugby union team, are known as the Ike Tigers, or the Ikes. The Ike nickname originated in the 1910s as an anti-Semitic epithet applied to UCT students by the students of Stellenbosch University, because of the supposed large number of Jewish students at UCT. Stellenbosch is UCT's traditional rugby opponent. An annual intervarsity match is played between the two universities. UCT has a total exceeding 9,000 recognized sports participants. There are more than 80 student societies at UCT. These fall generally into 5 categories. Academic societies for those interested in a particular field of study or studying a particular topic. The most prominent of these include the History and Current Affairs Society, United Nations Association of South Africa, and Students for Law and Social Justice. Political societies, including branches of the youth wings of national political parties such as the South African Students' Congress, the Democratic Alliance Students' Organization, and the African National Congress Youth League. Religious societies, some of which are associated with religious denominations or local places of worship. National cultural societies for students from particular countries or particular ethnic backgrounds. Special interest societies for those interested in various activities or issues. In addition to the plethora of student societies, there are several student organizations dedicated to the development of communities surrounding the university in the Cape metropolitan area. Some of the biggest include SHAWCO, Abanye and RAG. Recently, several students' movements have developed, such as the Green Campus Initiative. Rankings. The University of Cape Town is the highest-ranked African university in the U.S. World University Rankings, the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, and the Academic Ranking of World Universities. It achieved a rank of 156 in the 2011 QS World University Rankings and a rank of 113 in the 2013 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, making it the only African university in the top 200. Within this same ranking, UCT was placed in the top 50 in the categories of life sciences and social sciences. UCT's MBA program was globally ranked at 54 in 2012 by the Financial Times, and was ranked first in the value for money category. In addition to this, the University of Cape Town was placed as the second best business school in Africa and the Middle East in the 2010 U.S. Global 200 Business Schools report. The university also achieved a rank of 141 to 145 in the Russian-based Global Universities ranking. In the U.S. World University Rankings by subject for 2013, UCT UCT was ranked at 32 in the subject area of education and training and ranked in the top 100 for earth and marine sciences, politics, psychology, law and legal studies, history and archaeology, geography and English language and literature. In 2014, UCT was ranked fourth overall university among universities in the BRICS and emerging market economies and the top university in South Africa in the Times Higher Education BRICS and Emerging Economies Rankings 2015. In the 2015 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, the university placed 124th overall. Affiliations: UCT is a member of the Worldwide Universities Network, the Association of African Universities, the Association of Commonwealth Universities, the Cape Higher Education Consortium, Higher Education South Africa, and the International Association of Universities. Notable alumni: 5 of the university's graduates have become Nobel laureates. Ralph Bunche, American political scientist and diplomat, awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1950 for his role in the 1949 armistice agreements. Max Eilert, virologist, awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1951 for developing a vaccine against yellow fever. Professor Alan MacLeod Cormack, physicist, awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine for his work on X-ray computed tomography. Sir Aaron Kludge, chemist and biophysicist, awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his development of crystallographic electron microscopy and his structural elucidation of biologically important nucleic acid protein complexes. Professor Emeritus J.M. Coetzee. Notable star: Emeritus Professor Christiane Neethling Barnard, head surgeon of the medical team who performed the world's first successful human-to-human heart transplant. Author Brayden Breitenbach, visiting professor in the Graduate School of Humanities from January 2000. Author Andre Brink, professor in the English Language and Literature Department. Professor David H. M. Brooks, author of On Living in an Unjust Society and the Unity of the Mind. Professor Pierre de Vos, constitutional law scholar. Cosmologist George Ellis, collaborator with Stephen Hawking and winner of the 2004 Templeton Prize. Distinguished Professor of Complex Systems in the Department of Mathematics and Applied Mathematics. Author Joan Hambidge, Professor at the School of Languages and Literature. Economist William Harold Hutt, Professor of Commerce and originator of the term consumer surplus. Vice-Chancellor Reginald W. James, physicist and Antarctic explorer. Professor Valerie Mizrahi, Director of the university's Institute of Infectious Disease and Molecular Medicine. TB researcher that received the Order of Mapangubwe in 2007 for her contributions to biochemistry and molecular biology, including TB drug validation. Dr. Elmi Muller from the Department of Surgery performed the first kidney transplant from a HIV-positive donor to a HIV-positive recipient. Professor Timothy Noakes, controversial professor of exercise and sports science and author of several books on endurance sports and, recently, diet, awarded the Order of Mapangubwe in 2007 for his contributions to the science of physical exercise. Emeritus Professor Lionel Oppie is among the world's foremost scholars of heart disease, recipient of the Order of Mapangubwe in 2006 for knowledge and achievements in the field of cardiology. As of 2006, Oppie has published 481 scientific articles, 31 books on heart disease and made contributions to 141 other books. Henry Harold Welch Pearson, Chair of Botany, Fellow of the Royal Society 1916, Fellow of the Linnean Society of London. Mark Solms, Professor in Neuropsychology and Neuropsychoanalysis. Hendrik W. The Van der Merwe, founder of the Center for Intergroup Studies 1968, Emeritus Professor 1992, author Etienne van Heerden, Hofmeyr Professor at the School of Languages and Literatures. Eric A. Walker, British historian, King George V Professor of History at the University of Cape Town and Professor Emeritus of Imperial History at the University of Cambridge. Monica Wilson was a South African anthropologist, Professor of Social Anthropology. Professor Nigel Warden, historian of slavery in South Africa and Cape Town. Helen Zill, former Mayor of Cape Town and current Premier of the Western Cape, former Director of Public Relations for the university. Professor David Benatar, philosopher and author. Notable research. The Department of Mathematics and Applied Mathematics is an international center for research in the fields of cosmology and topology. The Center for Rhetoric Studies, the only one of its kind on the African continent. The Department of Physics is home to the UCT CERN Research Center, which is partially responsible for the software design of the high-level trigger component of the ALICE experiment at the Large Hadron Collider, as well as other activities related to ALICE. The Department of Electrical Engineering is involved in the development of technology for the CARO Array telescope. CAT is a precursor to the Square Kilometre Array, a proposed international project to build the world's largest radio telescope by 2020. Research groups in RF design and digital design contribute to the RF front-end and digital back-end of the CAT project. The Institute of Infectious Disease and Molecular Medicine is engaged in research on candidate tuberculosis vaccines, and is developing candidate HIV vaccines matched to the South African epidemic. The MRC.UCT Medical Imaging Research Unit, inspired by the work of alumnus Alan MacLeod Cormack, who won a Nobel Prize for the CAT scanner, studies brain and cardiac function and develops diagnostic imaging tools, one of which has led to the spin-out of Capri. The OpenAct initiative is funded by the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation and works to make UCT's research, teaching and learning materials openly available online. Major research projects include the African Climate Development Initiative Pilot Curation Project, Digital Scholarship in Emerging Knowledge Domains and Open Data in the Governance of South African Higher Education and Scholarly Communication in Africa. The Department of Archaeology has found some of the oldest evidence of art and abstract thought in the world, specifically ingrained ostrich egg-shell water containers dated to 60,000 years ago.